Hello everyone, this is Matt Strapp back again with another hockey video. I apologize for the long wait. There's been a lot going on in my life, which I'm sure a lot has been going on in everybody else's. Me and my girlfriend just moved into a house, and then we both had COVID, so that was fun to say the least. But in today's video, we're going to try to dive into rebuilding your team, whether that's your NHL team that you like to play with or your expansion roster. And I want to try to give you guys like an insight as to what I do in terms of rebuilding your team, like acquiring assets and trying to analyze the structure and see what the and weaknesses are. So for this video, I'm going to try to rebuild the best I can the San Jose Sharks in 1 year. So my main concerns with the San Jose Sharks is that they have a bunch of bad contracts, especially on the back end. They have little to no cap space. They don't really have a pipeline of prospects coming up through the system. They don't have a lot of high draft picks, which is critical when you're rebuilding a team. And they've made some pretty bad trades in the most recent years, especially with Erik Karlsson. So the San Jose Sharks pretty much are facing a situation that Ottawa just dealt with, which is being a playoff contender and being several steps away from the Stanley Cup, to this past year just completely collapsing in on itself. This is mostly due to an aging core and really bad contracts, so they can't bring in any outside help other than what they have on the team now. And they're starting to bring up some young guys, and it's starting to help a little bit. But I think that this is at the start of a true rebuild in San Jose, and it's going to take some years to come to fix. So just quickly looking through the lineup, their offense is pretty good for the first two lines. After that, they're lacking a little depth. Um, and their defense, top pairing's good. They start losing their depth, starting with the second pair. And then goaltending wise, I know this isn't up to speed, but you got Jones and Dell, but it's supposed to be Dubé. So this is my forward guide to the offense. So the way I have it structured is the first line is 85 overall and over, making 66.5 million per year or more. Second line 82 to 85, making forward to 6.5. Third line 78 to 82, making 2 to 4. And then fourth line 75 to 78 with under 2 million. And then the centers, I really try to keep those face-off stats. They're really important. Then the left wing and right wing, ideally, I try to keep them opposite-handed because it's really easy to set up good one-timers. So this is my defensive structure. Ideally, you want your first pair to be 85 or higher overall, making 6.5 million or more. Your second pairing, you want 82 to 85 overall, making between 3 and 6.5 million. And then your last pair, ideally between 78 and 82 overall, making under 3. I try to keep it as close to 2 as possible, but that's just me. And then you want your opposite hands for your respective defensemen because it's easier to keep the puck in the zone and to set up point shots. And then your goaltending, you want your starter above an 85, making a little over 4, and then your backup anything below an 85, but try to be as realistic about it as possible and make sure they're making under 4. So let's start analyzing the San Jose Sharks roster. So looking over the Sharks offense, just purely off the overall base, Sorensen and Melker Karlsson don't fit in where their spots are. And then contract-wise, I really don't like Evander Kane and Logan Couture's contracts. Now, they're very good players, but I think their durations are just way too long because they're going to be well into their 30s when they're done. But everybody else I have no problems with. On the defensive side of things, I don't really like Brent Burns' contract, or Karlsson, or Vlasic for that matter. I think it's just, in their cases, they're getting paid too much and they're getting too old. But as far as overall goes, only Tim Heed does not fit correctly in these pairings. Goaltending wise, I think Jones and Dell have good contracts, but overall wise, Martin Jones is not cutting it. I think he's on a decline, and I think it's only going to get worse, unfortunately. So the one and only gripe I have with the San Jose Sharks is the signing of Erik Karlsson. They traded a lot to get him, bulk of players, and a first-round draft pick, and then they signed him to an $11.5 million contract for 8 years and coughed up another first-round draft pick. And unless you're getting prime Karlsson and not the injured Karlsson that's injured half the year, I don't think that contract was worth it, and I really, really don't like it. So the immediate needs that I would go after when I'm rebuilding the Sharks is acquiring more wing depth and clear out the logjam at center. They have way too many centers on that team and not enough wingers at all. They need a new starting goalie, even if it's a draft pick or through free agency, and they need to start trading their core pieces to accumulate assets. So quickly, I'm just going to go through each of the positions. Centers, you can see it's a log jam, and there's not too many players coming up through it. A lot of players with little to no potential. Left wingers, no potential whatsoever. Nobody coming up. Right wingers, same thing. It's pretty barren on the offensive side. And then we go to defense, and we got a lot of value in our defense, but a couple guys coming up, that's it. And it's pretty barren. And then you got your goaltending, and it's not very good at all. So some targets I would go through with trading. I would definitely trade the Oversaka centers and try to distribute it back to the wingers. I would definitely try to get rid of Karlsson and Burns and get draft picks and prospects. You can definitely get a lot of value out of them. And then I would just try to trade Jones or buy him out if you can, just to clear space for a starting netminer. If you can even get him in free agency, that would be insane. So that pretty much wraps up my first year as the San Jose Sharks GM. I hope I explained things to you guys well, especially with my team guide. You can go to the link below. I have my website that gives a little more in-depth analysis. And please like and follow and subscribe for some more content. And I'll see you guys later. Take care.